straighter.
All new Pacific Mornings with Will on 531 PI.
It is 12 minutes past 8 o'clock. Pacific Mornings on 531 PI. William Terite with you through until 9 a.m. this morning. It is great to have your company. Welcome to the day ahead. If you're just joining us, we'd love to hear from you. Pacific Mornings at pmn.co.nz on our Facebook page 531 PI or on the text machine 531, the digits to punch into your phone. Right, let's turn our attention now to International Women's Day. Now, it was at the weekend and our thoughts immediately turned to our Pacific women here in Aotearoa who are business owners and entrepreneurs. Now, Afamasaga Jackie Curry is the director of Pasifika Consultancy and joins us this morning to discuss this. Talofa lava, thank you so much for your time.
Talofa lava, William, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning indeed. Hey, look, this is an important talanoa to have, and I immediately want to drill in and ask, perhaps, from your experience and what you're seeing, what trends are you seeing with Pacific entrepreneurs who are women?
Well, first of all, thanks, William and PMN, for the opportunity to jump on here. I just wanted to mention as well that in terms of engaging with Pacific women, I also run the Inailau Pacific Business Women's Network. Yes, so I've learned a lot through the years since I started up that network. And in terms of the trends, our women are still in the same businesses. Mostly, I would say our women are in a lot of our women make Pasifika products, and anyone that would have hit the Pasifika festival over the weekend would have seen. And I believe there's an increase as well in the number of women, creative women, who have started their own businesses making our beautiful Pasifika products. In particular, accessories are very, very popular, as well as fashion in terms of clothing. But in particular, accessories have really been on the rise as more women kind of step into their, Pasifika women step into their creativity. And this is anything from more traditional accessories like our e katsu or bales, and, seis, jewelry, and also going into more modern types of accessories. So that's definitely one business I've seen a lot of Pasifika women in. The second one I would say is beauty products. A lot of our Pasifika women have taken, natural ingredients from our homelands. And this is right across the Pacific, different, countries, Cook Islands, Samoa, Tonga, Niue, just to name a few, that have, I guess, learned about, the natural ingredients we have in in the islands, in particular, our coconut oil, as well as using a few other ingredients from our homelands, making beautiful beauty products, very naturally based beauty products that are actually from the islands. And for any women that have tried it, they're absolutely beautiful because when you put them on, it feels like you're back home in the islands. So that's another type of business. I must say as well, there are a lot of our Pasifika women running professional services businesses. And if I may touch on this particular line of work, because what I see is a lot of our women, they would leave the workforce. Some are made redundant especially with the current times, and they have a lot of professional skills. So they then move into starting a small consultancy business, sharing whatever skills and knowledge they have. A lot of times contracting back to organizations they used to work, but also putting their skills out there. Now, I must say that this is one area that I find personally that our Pasifika women are struggling to grow in. A lot of opportunities are given to, I guess, more of our men that have better connections, especially in government or other funding connections. So I find that we have a lot of Pasifika women in professional services, but our women struggle to, like I said, grow, tap into bigger contracts, tenders, and so forth. And I'm really hoping to bring light to this as part of this interview and International Women's Day, that our Pasifika professional services women, they really need extra supports on top of what's already out there, as do our other Pasifika women-led businesses as well. I have found over the years, William, if I may add that a lot of times funding goes to bigger Pasifika businesses, which tend to be more in male-led industries such as construction and trades. And I've been advocating for a few years about this, that we really need to ring fence some funding just for our women businesses because they often get overseen because they're smaller. And sometimes that's intentional as well, because our Pacifica women are also mothers, they're community leaders, and sometimes they don't want to grow their businesses into a huge, business with
Sure.
20 employees. Um, so yes, and sorry, if I can mention one more industry, of course, is hospitality and catering, where a lot of our women, there's a lot of women right now at home baking as well, I must say. I've seen that on Instagram, and as well as running catering businesses. So yeah, that's a little bit of a summary.
Great. No, that's a thorough summary. Thank you very much for that. Look, it kind of begs the question as well. I mean, we're hearing all the time that it's tough conditions to be a business owner, although happy days perhaps on the horizon, given if depends on what report you read into business sentiment. But with that in mind, I mean, how are business owners, particularly Pacific to you, are feeling under this current government and today's economic environment?
Definitely, I would say overall, with a lot of different policies happening, we just heard about, you know, Winston bringing up last week about diversity and inclusion policies being scrapped from government. I would definitely say the environment right now is our women don't feel supported. I mean, one, they're women, so gender has been, brought up as, no longer important here in New Zealand in terms of government policy. And on top of that, being Pasifika. So it's a double hit for our women. And we're already facing, the huge income gap that I know, a lot of our women leaders are involved in. And so it's only being accentuated now because of, again, unless you have policies and funding that actually is targeted at our women. Our women a lot of times, our Pacifica women are going to miss out because their businesses are smaller. So therefore, they tend to not get a lot of support. And our women, a lot of times, are not as well connected into, certain, I guess, groups or in the know, and they're just, doing their best to run their businesses. And this is why I'm so passionate about, our women's network, Inaila Pacific Business Women's Network, because I want to bring our women together. I want to highlight who they are, what they are doing, and also bringing to their attention the different opportunities that are there for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you're hosting a Pacific Business Women's event soon. I mean, can you tell us about that as well?
Sure. So on the 18th and 19th of May, we are running the Inaila Pacific Business Women's Network events. We did have a series that we ran online last year, and the previous year we officially launched and had an amazing event where at the time Carmel Sepuloni had just been made Deputy Prime Minister. That was an amazing event. We had about 80 plus women turn up for that as well as online. So now we're back to run an in-person event on the 19th of March at the Pacific Business Hub. Please check out our social media pages. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram if you're interested in attending, or just reach out to me. And on the 18th, we'll be running an online event, and that's to make sure that we do cater for our out of Auckland women as well as our Pacific region women. We have a private Facebook page of over 350 Pacific business women and entrepreneurs. And I have found that there's a lot of women that are reaching out, not just from New Zealand, but also the Pacific Islands and even in other countries such as the US. So our event this year will be focused on the theme of accelerate action. And I really feel strongly about this theme because of what's going on in the world at the moment in terms of policy. And it really feels like gender issues are getting pushed to the side and no longer valued. And so I believe as Pacific businesswomen, we should just step up ourselves and accelerate action for ourselves, create stronger networks, create stronger collaborations, work together, and support each other even more. And I hope as well that our Pacific brothers will come on board as well and intentionally support our businesses. Because when you support a Pasifika woman-led business, you're supporting a family, literally. As our women, that is a lot of times why they get into business is for their children and to give them more freedom and flexibility, as well as earning an income. Well, a lot of our stay-home mums tend to their children, care for their children. So you're literally, helping a Pasifika family to grow when you support a Pasifika woman in business. So I hope to bring our women together, tell Noah about how we can really accelerate action and take control of our own destiny, not wait for government or other organizations to help us, but what can we do collaboratively and together? And hopefully, if we attract any leaders of different organizations, that they may also intentionally, despite government policy right now, that they may see the need and intentionally support Pacifica women-led businesses.
Yes, certainly. And look, you kind of dug into it already, but just before we wrap up, I mean, are you aware of like, actually, I'll ask this first. I mean, what things would make it easier for women who are in business to thrive ultimately, do you think?
Uh, I find that our women really thrive when they're in community. Just like, church communities, family communities. Whenever I, have an event or even like some of my coaching that I do online in groups, our women really thrive when they talk to each other, when they encourage each other, when they uplift each other. There's like a spirit of camaraderie that when our women work together. So more opportunities and support for initiatives that bring women together. That's what I find that women always come up to me after events or, when they give me feedback from our group coaching and say, "Oh, I was so inspired. Now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to take action based on that, I guess, environment of community, of support, and I guess the good vibe that we create as women when we're together." And this is different a lot of times from I also mentor male business owners. And a lot of times they have different needs, which is more, catered to getting to like the point of the strategy they want help with. Whereas our women definitely thrive more from being in groups and community and I guess, learning from each other. So I would say that's one. If I may bring up one more, and it's funding. They're, to be honest, our women are struggling to access funding. They're struggling to access finance to grow their businesses and to take their businesses to the next level. Recently, we had the Tauola funding. I'm still waiting to see, there was a very small number. I think there was 600 to 800 applications. Only 48 businesses were successful, and this was the Ministry for Pacific People's funding, which I was involved in indirectly as a service provider for the ministry. But I'm very interested to wait and see how many women-led businesses were successful. And I really hope in future that we would intentionally support like a gender balance when it comes to these fundings to make sure that they're not just assessing like business in general, but making sure that at least a percentage of these businesses are women in business. So I'm waiting on that at the moment, William. Maybe you can come back to me in a couple of weeks and ask me because I'll definitely be looking at how many women were successful in that particular funding. So yes,
Awesome.
so creating more support for community, for coaching in groups, and funding support and better access to funding and finance.
Happy days indeed. That's good to get some guidance on that. Thank you very much for that. Look, just very quickly, just a cheeky question. Are you aware of any exciting new businesses on the radar?
Oh, absolutely. There's so many amazing businesses. I must say that one of my clients I've been working with, she launched a beauty range at the end of last year made from beautiful Samoan ingredients. The business is called Misiluki, and she's just reviving that business at the moment. Beautiful products. I personally use them myself. I had my Missy Luki oil that I put on this morning before I jumped on the radio, William. So yes, so that is one particular business. There are quite a few of our women getting into digital marketing as well, I must say. There's an amazing business called Creative Coconut who develop websites and social media. So I'll give a plug to them because I know they're really passionate about what they do and really getting into that digital marketing game, which I find is quite male dominated. So yes, and there's many other businesses. I mean, I could go on all day. Oh, and I must mention one business that's a more well-established business who actually ran an event yesterday, Shahana Jules. They ran an amazing International Women's Day Women of Worth event. So I must say I'm wearing their earrings right now. And yes, so that business has been around for a while. And I really hope that these women-led businesses get some more support because they have amazing visions and dreams to really grow their businesses, go international, get into exports. They really need supports. And they're, to be honest, struggling to find support, William, if I can put that plug, because I know I work closely with some of these businesses. So, but they all have amazing products and they're very, very passionate, visionary women leaders of all these businesses I've mentioned. So yeah, that's just a few, but there's so many to mention.
Yeah, totally. No, exciting times indeed. Hey, thank you very much for that. That is Afamasaga Jackie Curry there, joining us from Specific Consultancy, to the director, of course. You have a good rest of your day, and thanks for your time.
Awesome. Thanks for the opportunity, William.